It all started with a flash. Not the kind from a camera, but a silent, world-changing ripple of energy they called the Eon Pulse. It didn't break buildings or start fires, it broke people. Specifically, anyone born after it hit had a 50-50 chance of being different. We were the Eon-born. The government, being the ever-so-helpful bunch they are, rounded us up. They put us in pristine, controlled cities they called zones. For our own protection, they said, but it felt more like we were lab rats in a very clean, very boring cage. Everything was monitored, every meal was scheduled, and every emotion was logged. We were special, they told us, but it sounded more like a warning than a compliment. My name is Riku, and my special was fixing things. Not in the normal I can put your toaster back together way. I could touch a shattered vase, and the pieces would knit themselves back together, seamless and whole. I could hold a dead flower, and life would flood back into its petals. The zone wardens loved it when I fixed their broken tech. They'd pat me on the head and give me an extra nutrient paste packet. They saw a useful tool. They didn't see the kid who was slowly breaking on the inside, a kid who couldn't fix the one thing that mattered most. My best friend Kenji was an Eon-born too. His power was fire, not the big showy kind. He could create small warm flames in his palms. They flickered like tiny captured stars. He used them to keep us warm on cold nights, or to toast the bland nutrient bars until they were almost edible. But one day, his control slipped. It wasn't his fault. A warden startled him. The flame just grew. It wasn't big, but fear in the zones is bigger than any fire. They took him away. They said he was being moved to a specialized facility. I never saw him again. They told me he was gone, and the silence in our shared room was louder than any explosion. After Kenji disappeared, the zone felt different. The sterile white walls seemed to close in on me. The warden's smiles looked like bared teeth. Every time they asked me to fix something, a broken datapad or a cracked window, all I could think about was Kenji. All I could feel was the uselessness of my own power. I could mend objects, but I couldn't mend the hole he left behind. I couldn't bring him back. I started to notice how the other children were treated. We were assets if we were useful, and liabilities if we were dangerous. There was no in between, and I knew, with a certainty that chilled me to the bone, that I couldn't stay here. I had to get out. Escaping a zone was supposed to be impossible. High walls, electrified fences, and wardens with stun buttons at every corner. But the wardens had a weakness. They relied on their technology, and I could talk to technology, not with words, but with my hands. One night during a system diagnostic, I found my chance. I placed my hands on the main security console. I didn't try to smash it. I did the opposite. I felt its circuits, its energy flows, its tiny imperfections. I healed it, overclocking it just enough to cause a system-wide crash. Alarms blared, gates short-circuited, and for 5 glorious chaotic minutes, the entire security